Good evening. Today is the 23rd of July 2020. It is 0:49. I found out that my test subject, the one that I have been documenting my claims that I have been able to manipulate time to manifest reality in order to rewrite the glitch in her matrix, so to speak, to help heal her from childhood trauma, while helping her manifest reality to result in a job she wanted, by putting myself into a state of suspended conscious animation. I stepped into her subconscious mind while she was under anaesthetic to have a brain aneurysm removed, where I found the glitch in her matrix, so to speak, and rewrote her programming. I am pleased to announce that she just has been informed that she got the job that we were manifesting for her, and she is now Vancouver's first civilian female fire inspector. I'm so proud of her. She is, in scientific and legal terms, what you would call a credible witness to my claims that quantum magnetics is a genuine scientific practice, that when you have an ascension you gain the ability to enhance gifts, supernatural powers, so you could say, and mine is time jumping, quantum magnetics, understanding the way time works. And for her I was able to correct a glitch in her matrix. She's a different person. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. So that's 2 now, so I just got 1 more test subject to go, and in scientific terms you only need 3 examples for it to be proven. So I am the quantum menace and I can time jump, and she's proof. And she would vouch for me. She used to be a student, and before that she was a client, and before that she was a fan of my blog. So I also got to speak to my baby boy today. I haven't spoken to him in over 10 years. I practically raised him and his sister. I was like 11 when he was born, my nephew Perinu, and I got to see his face. And he's going to come and join me in New York and teach art. His missus is going to help me cook. She's a cook. My niece's husband is a chef, so I can get him involved in the supernatural food range. I've got a niece that is a cake baker and decorator. So it's all turning into a family affair. I'm so excited because it means as well that I can do all my occult stuff, my Wicca stuff. I can be me and be as witchy and occulty and as weird as I want around my family, and they won't even care. In my family I'm the flamboyant one. I'm the Liberace of the family. I'm like, whoa! But I mean, my sisters were the ones who were my original teachers when it came to witchcraft, so they're just like me, they're the same blood. Only I turned mine into a science, whereas they're proper witches. So, but it means that I could get them on Wixworld, and when we went to big locations where I needed like dozens of people, they'd be right there and I wouldn't even need to, you know, all I have to do is explain things my way. They'd get it in a heartbeat. My sisters, like growing up for me was like practical magic. My sisters were Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. And my cousins, and you know, my dad used to say, I don't mind the talking to the dead, it's this voodoo witchcraft bullshit I don't like. He was scared of us. He used to say we were the witches. We were those girls. You know, we were the ones that everybody sort of gave the side eye to, but our friends and that thought it was the coolest thing. We had to hide what we were. But indoors, man, I got to see some stuff. My sister my two older sisters are the ones that taught me about the enhancement of the sense of smell. My sister used to, you know, put this with this and this is what you get. Smell this, what's in it? I'd be like, I can smell this, I can smell it. She'd be like, yeah, and it's got this and this, and if you put that with that, it does it, you know, that's, yeah. So, and it means as well that when I get my building, I won't have to sing the blessing on my own, because I grew up singing with all my brothers and sisters. So I'll give them the words to When You Wish Upon a Star, and they can come and sing it with me. That would be awesome, because I grew up singing with my family, so my sisters and I used to harmonise. My mum used to get us to sing like Andrew's sisters and all that. I can get my brother to make my go-kart, because he used to make the go-karts when I was a little girl, and skateboards. His wife is an incredible seamstress, so I'll get her to design my costumes. My family can get involved in the big ceremonies and stuff. I can't wait. It's all starting to come together, and it means that I won't be a single mum raising my boys on my own. I'll have my nephew there, and I'll fly my family over every few weeks so they can come and like do mentoring and keep an eye out on the empire. If anything happens to me, my boys are sorted. They got blood right there. My empire will be in good hands. So I keep my social group small, but my family's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So I won't be the only Wick bloodline, although I'm the only one that calls it Wick. I won't be the only one involved in the empire. I'll have all my brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews with me. The first family, the first house. My nephew and I were talking about that today, talking about our first house bloodline. He didn't realise how far back it went. He goes, no, I knew what we were. He said, I just forgot. He said, but I keep forgetting how far back it goes. So I'm so proud of him. He's going to be such a great inspiration to those kids. He's going to be able to identify with a lot of what they're, dealing with. So I also been teaching my boys magic, not spells. People need to understand that magic is not the same as spell work. Two completely different things. Two completely different sciences. So yeah, I've been teaching them magic, and I have designed a fashion accessory that popped into my head that I've done a lot of research on over the last 2 days, and nothing like it exists. So I've been designing those in my head, getting the designs out of my head. I finished writing Where the Teeny Tiny People Live and came up with a accessory for that, which there's nothing like it out there. And then I came up with another child's accessory, I guess you could say, that's nothing like it out there. So I like the idea of getting my family involved in Wick's world, because it would be nothing for them to cross stuff over. It's what we grew up doing. I really did grow up like practical magic. It was all my sisters and sister-in-laws and cousins and nieces, and it's not that the boys didn't want to get involved, it's just they weren't interested. It's not that they don't believe, it's just that they weren't interested. But they'd get involved now, I think, if I was like, look, this massacre took place here, or this happened here, or, blah, blah, blah. You take a bell, you take a pendulum, they'd totally do it, because it's how we were raised. I can be as tea leaf reading, palm reading, time jumping, spellcasting, dancing to the moon, talking to the water, freaky geeky weirdo as much as I like in my family, they won't batter an eyelid. Like I said, I'm the Liberace of my family. I'm the one that makes all the aunties and uncles clutch their pearls. I'm the controversial one. When my mum was dying, she said to me, I never had to worry about you when you were growing up. She said, because I always knew you wouldn't get yourself into something you couldn't get yourself out of. I think she knew I used to get up to naughty things. Oh man, if she knew, she probably did. Being a good girl doesn't mean being perfect, it means being balanced. And I have the perfect balance between naughty and nice. Good and bad, light and dark, naughty and nice. That's what an Ascension Master is, you have perfect balance. Hell is heaven to the men I end up with. That's what I need to ask myself, how much of that side do I want to bring out in Wixworld, like as my brand? How much of the naughty do I want to show in the nice? Nothing inappropriate for underage people, God, I don't mean anything like that. So yeah, I'm working on my persona. I found out today as well that dating apps are doing really badly because men are walking away from them because women are demanding a certain type of man that aren't able to be met by expectation. Like they're all asking for men over 6 foot, and there's only like 16.5% of the world's population are over 6 foot, and they're wanting men over a certain wage packet and that sort of thing. And my dating app, there's nothing like it out there. It actually is a dating app for men that would be quite humbling for any woman that actually got involved in it. So my ex was saying today, the way you've done the algorithm, he goes, it would eliminate all of that because it's a dating app for traditional men looking for traditional women. Or traditional women looking for traditional women, traditional men looking for traditional men. It's got nothing to do with your sexual preference. It's the way that you're wanting to live in a healthy relationship traditionally. So, yeah. So it's been an incredible day. I've been very busy. I'm exhausted. I've been trying to socialise and it's just not, I'm not doing a very good job because I absorb too much energy. When I tap into someone's code, as soon as they start talking or move or their body language, because I did body language classes, but it heightened my senses even more. So the second someone moves, the way that they'll move their eye, the way that they'll turn their mouth, I'll know exactly what's going on, and then I see the code, or they'll say something, or they'll make a noise, or they'll move their hair a certain way, and I start seeing the code, and the second I see the code, I'm right there. So I take on their thoughts, their feelings, their energy, their past lives, their childhoods, any traumas, any baggage, anything. I take it on like I'm them. And if I'm in a room with more than one other person, it's a lot of energy to take on. And then I can't get my head off the pillow and it's really painful, and it takes me a few days to be able to extract the energy. So it's just not worth it. I can't risk absorbing something that I then reflect back to my babies. my children that I work with are going to have enough on their plate without having to absorb the hundreds of other people that I've been having to hang around with, so I have to keep my social group very small. I'll have my family there anyway to hang out with when they're there, and my boys will have family there, and yeah, I'm so excited. It's all just slowly starting to fall into place. My family's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I got my soul tribe, and so today I was proven right. I really am the quantum menace, and it's all documented and witnessed. Credible witnesses. My brother can make my go-kart. I wonder if he could make my castle. My brothers and nephews and that would be able to make all the sets, and I'd still need a construction crew, but that's the thing. They were in the army, and you know, they all work in construction. My nephew Petty now is a concrete layer, and they're all like plumbers, and yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. And then so I only need to prove it one more time. I've got more than enough evidence that I can time jump, but it's the rewriting of people's binary codes. Her ascension's gone a lot quicker than mine. She fought, but it's only been 2 months. Took me well over 2 years. I didn't get to the shadow work though until October of last year. But yeah, her ascension's a lot quicker than mine, but I was always told that would happen. It depends on how much trust you have. She said to me today, you stuck by me this whole time. She said, you never left my side, you were always there for me. And I said I could say the same thing about you. So we helped each other. She'll go down in history. If this makes the history books, the science books, she'll go down in history. Quantum madness. Roundhouse kicking injustice in the face. I think that's what I put on my theme tune. Eliminating subconscious blockages. And I'm going to cry. I'm on a high. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. I'm exhausted, but my brain's ticking over with fashion designs, and anyway, I'm going to go. It's all starting to fall into place. Praise the divine. Supernatural is real, people, and so are ascensions. Mwah. Mwah.